What's up, credit family? It's your boy, Mr. Credit Banking, and I am back again with another video. In today's video, we're going to discuss what are your priorities? What are your financial priorities, guys? You know, I just recently posted something on Instagram, and I can tell from one of my followers, they read it and they were, I'm guessing they were probably a little bit upset because the question that I asked, what are your priorities? And then I kind of listed some examples. And I'm gonna kind of read off for you what the post was. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. If you guys want to see the whole thing, it's called "What Are Your Priorities?" But anyways, and my Instagram is listed down in the description below. You can click on that link, go to it, and you can read the whole thing yourself. But it said, you know, what are your priorities? And one of the comments that they made is based off of like two examples that I gave. You know, it said. You know, we're not, and I'm kind of paraphrasing it, whatever. We're not willing to start a side hustle because it costs $500. And, you know, we're saying it's two examples. Remember, these are priorities. You know, this is the stuff, you know, I made up. But we're willing to buy an iPhone that costs $1,000. So anyways, these are just examples, just, you know, stuff that I made up. And the person basically, and I'm paraphrasing them too, made a comment up. For some people, you know, that $1,000 iPhone is an essential tool. So, no, and I completely get that. You know, I was just giving an example. But anyways, I'm going to give you some real world examples of priorities and how sometimes your priorities do change. So I'm going to give you some of my priorities, things that I felt that was a priority for me and how they change over time. So anyways, as you guys may or may not know, a couple of years ago, I lost my job and I didn't have a job for 3 months and I fell behind on my mortgage. Anyways, I contacted my bank and I says, hey guys, you know, I've been paying my mortgage on time for a while, but, you know, I lost my job. I now have a job back now and I want to, you know, address this issue of me being 3 months behind on my mortgage. What can you guys do for me? And they said, okay, yeah, we'll try to help you out. Make a list of all of your, you know, your debt, your payments and blah, blah, blah. You know, send it to us and we'll go over it together with you and see what we can do to help you. Okay, so I did all of that. I sent it to them. And so then they said, hey, you know, take a look at this particular bill. It's your cable bill. And it's $179.13. Do you really, really need cable right now? And I said, yes, I have to have cable. I have 2 young kids. They need the internet. And, you know, by the way, I forgot to mention, it's a bundle. So it had the internet. It had regular cable. And, well, it wasn't very, it had additional things, whatever. I have 2 little kids, so you can imagine that, you know, they want Cartoon Network and so forth. So I had all of these different things on there. I also had my home phone on there also. So I told them all those things are essential. My kids needs all of those, plus they need, you know, a home phone. So I can't cut out that particular bill. And they said, okay, well, you know what, only thing we can do for you is, you know, give you like a 6 months forbearance, but, you know, in that 6 months, you still have to be, in that 6 months, you need to be completely caught up, you know, on the 3 months that you're behind. And I go, oh, thanks for you guys' help. Anyways, and so now I'm left with, you know, what do I do? I felt that my cable bill was something essential. I needed it. Anyways, so moving on, you know, I had this new job. The new job could pay my bills, no problem. The problem that I'm having, I'm 3 months behind in my mortgage. And I'm not getting paid that much that I have an extra, you know, 3 months worth of my mortgage to get caught up. So one thing I had to do was get myself a second job. And prior to me losing that job and getting a new job, I've always told everybody I will never get a second job. I will, you know, I'll get a job that, you know, pays me enough to pay my bills. But unfortunately, you know, this job did pay my bills, but, you know, I never taken consideration that I would have lose my job and fall behind on my mortgage and I don't have the money to get caught up. Anyway, so I had to get a second job. A friend of mine told me about Amazon Flex, became an Amazon Flex driver. And instead of calling it a second job, I call it my side hustle. So that's how I was able to do that mental jujitsu in my brain and say, hey, it's not a second job, it's my side hustle. But, you know, call it whatever it was a second job. And I wasn't willing to work a second job in the past, but now I was actually working 2 jobs 3 times a day, guys. I was not willing to work a second job. Now I'm working 3 times a day at 2 jobs. I was going to Amazon before my full-time job. I do my full-time job for 8 hours, and I was doing Amazon after my full-time job. So I'm working 3 times a day, guys. And in the past, I said, nope, it's not a priority for me. I can only work one job. People's priorities change. So anyways, moving on, I'm busting my butt working 3 times a day, and I'm saying, okay, this job is kicking my butt, these 2 jobs. So I got to find, ways of cutting back on the bills that I have, because this is tough working these 2 jobs. Or like I was telling myself, the one job and the one side hustle. And I started looking at my bills, and I remember, the bank brought up that my cable bill, and I took a look at it again. And I guess, you know what? I'm calling up the cable company. You know what? My priority has changed. I don't need all of this. I got rid of cable completely because my kids weren't watching cable anymore. Find out they're watching YouTube most of the time. So they weren't watching Cartoon Network. They're watching YouTube. And that is one of the things also just kind of turned me on to YouTube too. So I started watching YouTube too. So I didn't need cable anymore. So I got rid of that bundle. All right. And my home cell phone, I realized when I'm talking to my friend, no one has a home cell phone. No one has a home phone anymore. Everyone uses their cell phone. So I got rid of that. So I was able to bring my cable bill down from $179.13 to, I think, so like $73 now. So at one point, it was a priority for me to have, that expensive cable bill, or it was a priority for me to only have one job. But my priorities changed. And guess what? Those things are no longer priorities for me, because my financial situation changed and I could not afford those things anymore. So people's priorities change. So when I was asking, what are your priorities? It's like, these are things sometimes you're willing to pay for, or sometimes it could be a necessity. Or sometimes you may think it's a necessity and it truly isn't. Anyway, so that's all. Today was kind of an opinion piece, and I just want to kind of give you guys my thoughts on, on your financial priorities. In my opinion, they change depending on what and how your financial situation changed. Something that was a must-have at one time is no longer a must-have anymore because your priorities change. So guys, let me know your thoughts. Leave a comment down below. Do you feel, what are your priorities, financial priorities? And do you feel that they change sometimes? Something that may have been a priority at one time is no longer a priority. Please give me a thumbs up. Hit that red subscribe button down below, guys. Please, thanks you guys. My YouTube channel is doing really good. I've just got over 500. Thanks you guys. You guys are making my day. Please watch my videos all the way. That's all I have for today, guys. Mr. Credit Banking out. Peace.